Powerhouse day, folks, at the Supreme Court, leaving some of the hot, juicy stuff for the last salvo before the summer. This decision, and it's a two-parter, and I get it. Everyone is applauding the fact that the Constitution sort of withstood the assault by the administration, as I noted coming in. But I cannot help but to know and believe that the 14th Amendment is still in the crosshairs of this administration or future MAGA administration. And I think some of the predicates for what they want to do were laid by some of the justices in their concurring opinions and in their dissent that we should be very, very mindful of.
The 14th Amendment survived, and that's great news.
Yes.
I think what's scary is that it seemed that there were 4 justices, at least 2 of them or 3 of them, depending on how you want to count it, that were very comfortable with a president's executive order undermining the Constitution. Yeah. That's big news. I think we have a policy here on the show that when Stephen Miller is sad, we tend to be glad. But I want to read what he said on X, because I think it's very important. It speaks where the mindset of this administration is at. One of the most destructive and outrageous decisions in a long history of the Supreme Court, American citizenship is not the birthright of the world. It belongs only and solely to Americans. No provision of the Constitution can be read to require our national self-obliteration. It belongs only and solely to Americans. Who are those Americans? Are they the Native Americans whose land was stolen out from underneath them, who still live in terrible conditions all around this country? Is it the people who came over on the Mayflower? Because I can tell you, Stephen Miller's family does not trace back to the Mayflower. Who is he talking about? And you think had this gone the other way, that can of worms opens up, and you have a nation of people who might be stateless. You have a nation of kids whose entire identity is overturned by the stroke of a pen. And it was perilously close today.
And then it sets up the opportunity for them to be deported and worse immigration policies to come.
Yeah, I mean, when Andrea came onto set before we started the show, she made a comment that it was good news today. And I gave you a milquetoast response back because I think it's hard at the end of the day to look at all of the decisions made really in totality since this president has taken office. And not think that these justices have given him, have expanded massively his executive power, and that the administration has made a huge dent in the way the American immigration system works, and changing the definition at its fundamental core of what it means to be an American. Because, yes, this is one ruling, but there are still countless executive orders, laws, TPS just last week, that have been overturned and upended, that have, again, dramatically shifted or tried to move the American narrative.
So how do you see it, Andrea?
Well, I don't want to understate this massive win for the Constitution. And I say that because there were mothers who were, part of the plaintiffs in these cases who were waiting for the Supreme Court to determine the future citizenship of their unborn children. And so the maternal health outcomes in those moments, the stress, I breathed just a massive sigh of relief. And so I don't want to take that away from them, right? And the fact that the 14th Amendment, which as a minority in America enshrines just so much of what it means for my family and others to be American, I celebrate that. But you're exactly right. It comes on the back of a more radical decision of essentially giving the president almost unilateral power to end temporary protected status for 1.3 million people. So today I breathe a sigh of relief for some of the people I advocate for. And I also know that tomorrow the fight starts on TPS. And that is going to be a fight I hope many others join, because starting potentially tomorrow, people can start losing their work permits in the Haitian community.
And actually, the number that escaped me was there have been over 700 immigration restrictions that have been passed since Trump came into office last year.
It's remarkable. It's seemingly like a new one every single day. Norm, I was taken a little bit back by Brett Kavanaugh's opinion today, because he seemed to try to open the door for Congress to end birthright citizenship. He said the following, quote, "I respectfully disagree with the court's constitutional holding. In my view, the executive order does not violate the 14th Amendment, but the order does contravene a federal statute. Congress could enact new legislation establishing exceptions to birthright citizenship for children born to foreign citizens unlawfully or temporarily in the country, but Congress has not yet done so." We see the administration is already moving in that direction, saying, Congress, please do this for us. Is that legal? What does that mean?
No. The 5-justice bipartisan majority that ruled for our clients today, we put this case together at Democracy Defenders Fund. I think it's one of the most important of our over 300 legal cases and matters. That 5-justice majority consigned Brett Kavanaugh's philosophical musings to the dustbin. Birthright citizenship is enshrined in the Constitution. I was on your air earlier with one of our clients, one of our brilliant bilingual attorneys translating. We took her on audio only, and to these brave moms at Democracy Defenders Fund with our partners at LULAC and the other terrific partners in this case, we crisscrossed the country starting 2 years ago, summer of 2004, because we knew this core American principle. If you're born here, you are an American. You are a citizen. We found those brave moms who were willing. Their status is uncertain. It's dangerous for them. And as my client said on the air today, I did it for my family, I did it for my child, and I did it for all Americans. It wasn't just the birthright of these babies. Donald Trump doesn't get to rewrite the Constitution with his Sharpie. It was the rule of law. If he could have come for this core principle so clear from common law, from the Civil Rights Act of 1866, from the 14th Amendment, from Supreme Court precedent, 1898, this has been the law. If he could change that, everything would be up for grabs. Mm-hmm. And let's remember, at Democracy Defenders, it was a good 26 hours for us. We won the Cook case. We also represented the Latino community in support of mail-in voting. We protected mail-in voting. Lisa Cook. We protected the Federal Reserve governor and the monetary system. Yes, there's been a lot that is bad, and we should talk about that. We're fighting already to protect TPS status. But think of all the times, more than 200 times, that the courts have held. Think of the millions of people in the streets, and think of Donald Trump's low polling ratings and the disdain of the American people for this corruption. I think the American system is coming under strain. The Constitution is holding.